Ooni pizza ovens are a perfect match for sous vide steaks. The intense heat can get an unbelievably fast sear, keeping the center of your steaks perfectly cooked. But before you venture into searing a fatty cut at 900 degrees, I have a few pieces of advice to share. Let's get started. We'll start with a moderate dusting of sea salt. Nothing else at this stage, because even pepper will burn up at the high heat. Then we can start up our bath and use the water displacement method with a Ziploc bag. This is just a fancy name for putting it under water to push air out, then sealing it. I like my steaks cooked at 137 degrees, but you can set the temperature here to your liking. Cook for 1 to 3 hours, depending on the thickness of your steaks. 30 minutes before it finishes, we can fire up the Ooni pizza oven on high and place a cast iron pan to preheat. Ooni sells a grizzler pan, but for a ribeye, I actually prefer a pan with walls on it to better contain the flame. And there will be a flame when cooking ribeyes. If you were cooking a steak in the Ooni from start to finish, you'd want to use much lower temperatures. But since we already cooked the steak with sous vide, we just need as fast of a sear as possible. At this stage, it's so important to make sure you dry the steaks as much as possible before searing. Then we can add a little olive oil directly to the steaks and toss them in the pan. Turn the flame to low, and when the flame reaches over the steaks, shut the flame off completely. Cook for 1 minute before carefully pulling the pan out enough to flip the steaks for another minute of cooking. The flame will rise when you flip them, so be very careful here. With the pan basically being ignited, you would probably expect the steaks to be burning, but they didn't at all. This isn't like a grill flare-up, where the flame is below the steak and searing it. In the pizza oven, fat and grease splatters up and ignites pretty much instantly in these temperatures, but not the steak itself. With the Ooni turned off, the flame should die down completely before the cook is finished. My phone died here just before pulling the steaks from the pan, but I stole my wife's to get a quick shot slicing it. This was a very thin steak, and you can see it's still the same temperature from center to edge without any of it being overcooked. Now forgive me as I cut this video short. It's time to eat.